Hello, friends. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you guys are having an amazing Tuesday. So this is today's view recap. And the ladies opened up talking about Trump and his companies. They were fined $355 million, okay, for essentially inflating his assets to the banks and getting loans based off fraudulent numbers. So it says Trump was fined 355 million. Well, they rounded up. It's really 354.8 million plus approximately 100 million in prejudgment interest. Wow. On Friday, after Judge Arthur Ngorian determined that he inflated his net worth in order to get more favorable loan terms. Whew, that is a lot. And on top of that, attorney Tish James, who's the main prosecutor in New York, said that she has no problem seizing his assets, like his Trump building, things of that nature, in order to collect on the debt that he owes. So he has set up a GoFundMe on online, the site GoFundMe, for 355 million, plus he's selling sneakers. So I don't know. I mean, listen, with inflation and all of those things, I mean, I know he has friends who are, billionaires and multimillionaires, so maybe he'll be able to raise the money, but this is really interesting. Like politics has definitely taken a much interesting turn since 2016. I'll say that. For better or for worse, I know some people are, saying that this is like the worst time, and other people, like me, I guess I'm just kind of enjoying the ride because because this is extremely it's interesting, right? So the ladies kind of, again, have a very spirited debate and discussion, I should say, on Trump. They're saying that he's selling his gold sneakers, and Sunny, she said that she's going to be petty. She kind of shouted out her lawyer friends by saying that she thought it was a copyright infringement because they're gold and they look like the Gucci shoes. And then, Whoopi chimed in saying that they were red at the bottom, like the Christian Louis Vuittons. So, Sunny was like, I don't know if somebody's going to pick that up, but that will be something to be interesting for her lawyer friends. These ladies they are eating it up. Sarah, on the other hand, she gave a different point of view, saying that she thought that the judgment was a little bit too harsh. She said that, and then of course everyone got like really upset when she said that. But just basically she was saying that she thought that the punishment did not fit the crime. Like, yes, he inflated his assets, but that's who Trump is. He exaggerates everything, right? If you ever listen to him talk, he always uses the qualifiers of, huge and always, and this was the best and blah, blah, blah. So she just thought that it was a bit excessive. On the other hand, Joy, she didn't think that it was excessive enough, but we know that Joy despises Donald Trump. Okay, that's really nothing new. So everyone had like a difference of opinion. I really enjoyed listening to the spirited debate. I'll link the actual, YouTube video so you guys can watch that segment for yourself and just kind of hear everybody's point of view. Whoopi, of course, just reiterated that this election is in the people's hands, and that when they're running down the street in the Trump sneakers, she's like, let them buy what they want, whatever, because they look like they're going to fall apart. She said when they're running down the street, the shoes were going to fall apart. These ladies crack me up. Okay. Moving on to, the impact of the Alabama Supreme Court case on IVF. So this segment, it really, hit home for a lot of the women because they're all mothers with the exception of Alyssa. And she's married and she wants to get pregnant and have children as soon as possible. So they all, they really enjoy motherhood, or the aspect, right, in Alyssa's case, of motherhood in the future. And so basically The Alabama Supreme Court is saying that any embryos, um, if something happens to them, that they're trying to strike down IVF because they deem that as a minor child. And so Sunny was just, sharing her story. She said that her and her husband, who's a surgeon, by the way, and they've been married, I think, over 25 years, but she said that they essentially drained their life savings because IVF is not cheap and it wasn't covered under her insurance at that time. But she said that they had several rounds of IVF. But the good news is, they have two beautiful children to show for it. But she said that because she's Catholic in her faith, she said when she first came on the show, and I appreciate Sunny's transparency, to be honest. She said when she first came on the show, she was really adamant and against abortion for everybody, right? Like she was just like, it's wrong for me, it's wrong for you, it's wrong for everybody. She said it took her talking to Whoopi Goldberg and really listening to other people's point of view that while she still thinks it's wrong for her and she still is very, she holds her faith very dearly, she says that she can't impose those beliefs in her faith onto other people. And that's one of the great things about this country, right? We don't just have freedom of speech, we also have freedom of religion. And because Whoopi is definitely, pro-choice, and she says that it's her body, her choice. And I just love, because all the ladies have different points of view, I love hearing their discussions. But yeah, that's really difficult. Sunny said that her and her husband did use all of the embryos. She's like, there aren't any of them left. But in the case of Alabama, and that's another thing, right? I feel like, the United States, even though we are one country, it's so different. I remember Trevor Noah, he said that when he would, tour the country for his comedy shows, he's also a stand-up comedian, and he left The Daily Show recently, but he said that the United States is like 50 different countries. And it's so true. Like every state has different laws and every state has different governing systems. And so Alabama, they have essentially, they're trying to get rid of IVF for the state of Alabama. So that means that people who want to use that service would have to essentially leave the state. That's just another like financial hardship because, as you guys know, with inflation, everything is like so expensive and the cost of living is continuously going up and the wages are not. So it's very difficult for a lot of people. But yeah, it's like my heart goes out to anybody who wants, children or who is, doing that family planning with, and looking at IVF as a possibility, especially if they live in Alabama, because now you don't want to risk not only your finances, but your freedom. Because if they lose one of the embryos, as oftentimes that happens, then you don't want, punitive measures against you for that. So that's a really tough decision to make. And then lastly, we have Hilary Swank and Alan Richardson. They're promoting the true story of ordinary angels. And I think that is such a beautiful, it reminds me of that show, Touched by an Angel. It's a beautiful title. But Hilary Swank is one of my favorite actresses. Like she has been in so many great films and she looks fantastic now. But yeah, I hope that, their movie does really well. Oh, lastly, this segment was really very interesting. So a Powerball player was denied $340 million. Oh my gosh, over a website mistake. So basically what happened is they, they said that they put up the wrong numbers and now he's suing essentially. So what could be a very costly mistake for the people who put up that website. Because when he went to go, turn in his ticket, because the numbers matched, they're like, oh yeah, our bad. And so Sunny, she's the legal expert on the panel. She's like, no, he has a viable case. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted if there's an update on that. But I mean, he might not get, of course, the whole 340 million, but he might get some. So yeah, that's interesting. But anyway, you guys, let me know your thoughts on today's episode. Please be sure to like the video, share with your friends and loved ones, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you later. Take care, guys. Bye.